on the swim bladder, it would help keep the fish afloat?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's what allows it to be able to swim, to be able to not sink in the water, but to be able to stay, kind of manage its location within the water. So it doesn't want to float on top, it also doesn't want to sink. It wants to be kind of going through the water.
Now,
Yeah.
Do you want me to cut it out now?
Yeah, let's go ahead and cut that out. So something kind of cool about this is when a fish, like the salmon here, is deep in the ocean, it actually adjusts the amount of air in its swim bladder so that it can hover comfortably without sinking or coming up to the top. And it enables the fish to actually save energy.
Interesting.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, let's go ahead and look for the kidney. So let me tell you a little bit about the kidney. So the kidney looks like a dark red line along the backbone. We should be able to tear through the membrane that's holding the kidney, so this guy here, and kind of just scraping it out with your fingers. Or maybe even just scrape. Yeah, there you go. Yep. So that membrane was holding it a little bit. And I think, yeah. Okay, so then the kidney actually cleans blood and produces red blood cells. So it looks like our kidney kind of came apart just a little bit, and that is a-okay. Sometimes that totally happens. So now there is, I see some lines in here, and that is the backbone. We can kind of feel it. They are very lightweight, curved bones. Do you see that curve in there? You can kind of see them curved. And this gives the fish shape. Just as ribs create the barrel-like shape of a human torso, the ribs protect the salmon's internal organs, so keep them nice and safe. All right, so now we're gonna slice through the membrane on either side of the rib to pull it. So this is kind of where it gets a little tricky. And we're just gonna do the best we can. So there might be like that little thing right there. I think we can just slice it. And if we can't get it, I think that's okay, because sometimes it's a little,
I think I got it,
tricky. So we're gonna do that on either side of just a single rib. And we can pull it up toward the backbone. This will disconnect it, and then we can kind of see a little piece of it. Do you need me to hold anything? You okay?
Yeah, I'm not sure, so there's this, I'm not sure what I should be peeling.
I wonder if we could go down a little bit to where we kind of feel it a little bit more, and then maybe like right in there we might be able to pull one out.
Am I peeling just that thin layer?
I think so.
Oh,
there we go. And then, oh, here's one poking out. So then we can probably just peel it up.
Wow.
And there is one of the rib bones.
Wow.
So it's really thin, isn't it?
It's quite thin.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be that thin. And you can see that they go all the way down, and the backbone kind of runs right through here. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling right here.
Mm-hmm.
And that is hard.
It is hard.
Those are almost feel bigger than this guy. Okay, so we also notice that there's some pink tissue between those ribs.
I just had to peel one of these up myself. Okay, very interesting.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
So the muscle is the main source of locomotion, which means the ability to move. It's the primary part which people use for food, so the part that they actually eat. Salmon use their muscles to swim thousands and thousands of miles, and often they only survive on the fats that are stored out in the ocean. So when they go back, they usually only use the fat that's stored.
Wow.
Okay, so now let's move towards the head. And the head is where we're going to take a look at the gills. The gills, fish live underwater, so they need to be able to breathe. Now, if we open up this gill cover, we should be able to kind of pull it and then be able to cut out those gills. So the gulping action that's demonstrates how water is drawn in through the mouth. So when you take a big gulp of water, then what happens is that the mouth and the throat close and the water is forced to go past.
Should I cut that out?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and cut it out. And the water goes past these gills that Miss B's getting. And the gills, they actually take out the oxygen that's in the water. So that's what allows them to breathe.
So what I'm understanding is that fish don't breathe water, they breathe the oxygen in the water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's something that I always used to think, oh my goodness, they just somehow breathe in the water. But they just gulp the water and use the oxygen from the water.
Oop, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. These fish are slippery.
I feel like I'm, how should I say, butchering. Well, I'm not sure if I'm able to get those out, but those,
Yeah, we can kind of just take a peek at them from here.
these are the gills, kids.
Wow. And usually they almost have like a reddish, a dark red right now, which reminds me that when I've seen the actual fish living, their gills are that bright red color.
So that oxygenated, whereas
Yeah.
these have been, you know, these are deoxygenated, so without oxygen.
Ah, that's a really good point. Okay, now we're going to try to look at the brain.
Ooh,
So
okay.
now what we can do is kind of, we're just going to cut right.
Should I use
here.
the big knife?
Yeah, that's what I think that would be best.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut right here.
Yeah, let's just do that.
All right.
And their skin is really tough on the outside.
It's very tough. There's a lot of cartilage, which is what's in our, there's bone too, but cartilage, which is what our nose is made from. This is very tough.
I wonder if we could just maybe go right here's a little bit softer.
Okay.
We could just maybe cut around there. Yeah, it might be better with the sonic. Good call.
Okay, be careful of your.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna.
yeah, there we go. Okay, so salmon actually have a brain at the end of their spinal cords where the nervous system transmits the information they receive about their environment. So from all those body parts they have, especially that lateral line. And the salmon brains have 3 pea-shaped sections, so actually pretty small. And the forebrain, The part that's called the forebrain actually controls the salmon's sense of smell, so their ability to smell. If you remember from when Miss B read the life cycle of a salmon when they spawn back.
I'm going to try something. I'll be right
Ooh,
back.
alrighty.
I don't know if this is going to work,
But we'll try it. So when salmon, they go back to spawn, they smell their way back. So this is the forebrain is the part that controls their smell. They also have a midbrain, which controls what they see, their learning, and also responses to things that are around them.
Yep, that's too small. I was thinking I could cut through it with some scissors, but
Well, I wonder, could we go, let's go inside maybe?
we go.
And maybe let's cut up here, and
Okay.
then we can just maybe fray it open. I just thought about that. We like to do it the hard way first. And I wonder if it will just open on up. Okay, maybe we can pull. You know what? We might be getting into the throat right there. So wonder, maybe we go from the top.
So maybe.
Yeah, because I think it might be right in there. It's pretty tough there though. We'll try to show you the brain. It's a tricky process.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Let's see here. So, okay, so this is where we should be. So we're in a good place.